Welcome back to the aftermatch. Come for the rugby, stay for the aftermatch, or stay for Stephen Donald. That's what some are saying on the YouTube, as you call it, Beav. The dream is still alive. 3-0,
Yes.
which means our way up the world rankings. It is happening, people. It is happening.
With 20 minutes to go there on Saturday night, and the French had a 5-metre line out, and luckily we dodged that bullet. I'm not sure it was going to be 3-0, but...
Well, you had one up your sleeve this year, but you
Yes.
thought maybe the Wellington capital curse. You didn't imagine Hamilton.
No, not the Tron, but it was bringing back some scary memories of my own, playing my one and only test match in Hamilton. So the boys got out of it, and they found a way to win, which I guess when you look at that game, what are the positives you're going to take out of it from an All Blacks point of view? It was the fact that they won a game that at one stage didn't feel like it was going to go their way.
The French didn't look great, though, did they?
I thought it was by far their best performance. Astoy at 10 made a huge difference. I actually had been tipped off about him by some of my Classics team members on Friday night saying,
"Oh, so he's the goods."
He is creative. Very creative footballer, and he certainly did that and gave the ball more air, got Valère and Atakobi involved. So he was a great addition with Legatic in the Iron jersey.
These are now household names for you. They just roll off the tongue. 3 weeks ago, you didn't know anyone in this French side except for Gael. Now you know half a dozen.
Yes, of course. Well, you do your research.
My big question from the weekend in Hamilton.
Yep.
How the hell does a rooster get on the field and get in through security? We've all seen the footage.
Yes.
Absolutely hilarious that the security guards are chasing not after a streaker, but after a rooster side of field.
Yeah, well, when I came into FMG Stadium, they were having their security meeting, and there would have been...
Did they talk about the rooster?
Well, there would have been close to 300 of them in those jackets. So it does start to... make you wonder, how is that possible?
Oh, inside job.
Well, I don't think any of the Sky crew brought any in. I certainly probably could have got one in my backpack. But imagine if you're going through the turnstiles, you're getting bags checked. Therefore, if it's not an inside job, if it hasn't come in with a worker, then it has come in with a paying public member, and they have sacrificed and
a
risked
rooster.
all sorts of injury by stuffing a rooster either up the jacket or potentially down the pants. So the only other thing, and I don't want to suggest our great All Blacks are involved.
Oh,
but I saw the likes of Tossi scanning people in.
Oh, what are you saying about Pasilio Tossi?
Potentially, he didn't realise that he was having to do pat downs as well as scan people's tickets when they were coming in, because I don't know if he's experienced in gatekeeping at FMG or not, but maybe the rooster smuggler spotted these All Blacks scanning people in and went straight that route, thinking they're not going to be as tough as maybe one of those yellow jackets.
Okay, just lastly on the rooster, do they not make noise unless it's like 5 a.m? Is there no way that they're letting out a wee caw?
Well, I'd be more...
Or what do you?
Well, what sort of noise?
What does a rooster make?
I'd have been more concerned about the scratching. I mean, you could have got away with the noise, but I was just thinking the scratching, pecking that would have gone on. If it was either up your shirt or down your pants, would have been a concern for me.
Okay, let's talk about the All Blacks, because they got one over the rooster at the end of the day anyway, didn't they? But why do you think they struggled a little bit in this test? Was it because, they made mass changes?
They did. And on top of that, obviously the French, as I said, played their best, looked like by far their best team. They finally got the balance right. They had a very mobile pack. As I said, Astoy added a lot at 10, and that backline, who, individually they've shown plenty already this tour. I just wondered, you talked about the changes and the physicality that the French brought, which is not really an excuse, because obviously we're going to bring that ourselves. However, the combination thing, on top of all those changes, and I didn't really worry about it because they're all guys that have played together, but then you change late. They had to make late changes as well. And with
both of them, the Rico and Luke Jacobson?
Yeah, probably the Luke Jacobson even more is the one that was noticeable, because you looked at things like the All Blacks had a line out, 10 out, and they didn't drive. They did a little trick shot out the back going open side. Obviously, they'd had success from last week's line out trick shot, so they went there. They had a little play where Karifi was coming short and the boys were pulling off the tail of the line out. And Karifi, I don't think, was sure whether it was his ball or it was going to the background and there was hands out. And just little things like that where you haven't all been training together all week. I mean, of course, they'd have had turns at it. But when you're starting and that's the team, then they would have got lots of repetition until they're happy with it. What happens, drop the ball, and we end up like 90 metres back. And instead of probably us putting 7 on them, I think they might have even collected points from that visit. So that was just a snapshot where I think combinations were probably affected. Then I think also at times I thought in that first 35 minutes, and it was a heavily Chiefs-influenced decision-making combinations when you think 9-13 was all Chiefs. I thought they fell into a bit of a Chiefs habit there, which is often what the Chiefs go to, and they obviously happy with it, but keep going back short side. And that seemed to be a default where once they, I don't know if they figured it out or it just naturally flowed like that, but once they started working the French all the way across the field, instead of getting to the midfield going back, that's when they started to be able to really create things. You look at the try to Leonard Brown, they missed a couple of other opportunities where they actually had created the overlap. So what they were doing when they did get it right is they worked all the way across the field with their rucks. That grouped the entire French team inside sort of half the field, and then they had the opportunity to pick them off with numbers. So I just think tactically they got it right as it started to unfold, but I don't think you can put a price on that Leonard Brown try just before half-time. If they don't score that, it's a whole lot different half-time.
Yeah. They were down by
10 at that point. Got them back to within 3 or 2. So that was a massive moment in the game. But as I say, even in that second half, 20 minutes through that second half, the game was on a knife's edge.
Will Jordan.
Yep.
42 in 44 games, 42 tries. If you look at how that compares, Beav,
yes.
Doug Hallett, the All Blacks, all-time leading try scorer, has 49 tries. Will Jordan has 42. And his, still early All Blacks career? You'd say early, right? Because he's got so many more years left in him.
Maybe halfway through it?
Oh, you reckon halfway through his career? 42 tries in 44 games.
Phenomenal.
How many does this guy get to?
Well, if you go on strike rates, he's going to be a 100 Test All Black, isn't he? If he wants to be.
If he wants to be, he will be.
Then
2 World Cups.
Then he gets 100 tries, doesn't he?
100 tries. 100 tries, 100 games and 100 tries.
I'm just doing my maths. Yeah, current strike rate.
What does your maths say on the piece of paper?
Times 2. He's going to get 100 tries.
He's going to get 100 tries. Well, actually, if your maths is correct, a couple shy of 100. He'd have to play a few more.
Yeah, but he's
games.
not, unless it's the World Cup final in America for his 100th, he's going to play more than 100.
He will. So he's going to crack the ton of tries, which is remarkable considering that for so long, Doug Hallett's record of 49 has stood. And when you look at the names on this list and that he will double, if he keeps going the way that he's going, he will double. What makes Will Jordan so good?
Well, I mean, you laughed at me a long time ago when we were doing a top 5 legs of Super Rugby when you were getting fascinated with a couple of Australians. But I thought Will Jordan's power for his hips, his ability to shrug off tackles is phenomenal. When you get that wonderful footage that we do on TV from the end on, and he's not exactly just going through open air, he's going through arms and shoulders. And that's all the power that he has. You know, not a huge man, but clearly powerful, obviously extremely fast, but busy too. Like, he goes looking, there's no, whether he's fullback or wing, there's no just hanging out in the wide channels waiting for the ball to come to him, or he goes looking, and he is such a threat in and around those closer channels.
Talking about speed, is he faster than our wingers?
No, I've been told recently that Rico's still
over 100.
Straight line testing, whatever they do,
Rico
so maybe 40s and 10s, still the man there. So, yeah. And the other thing, Will Jordan obviously pushing his case to be a fullback.
Yes.
You know why else he's going to probably jump past all those great wingers of the past is he's obviously heard the stories, 27, 28, All Black wingers, no more.
Yes.
You go, well, I'm not a winger now, I'm a fullback.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about me.
I got plenty more time than
Exactly.
me. I got another 50 tests.
How many tries did Cully get?
Cully's on the list.
He is on the list?
Cully sits in second equal, 46. I'll go through the list, should I?
Go on.
So that you've got it. Doug Hallett, 49.
Yep.
First outright. Joe Rocks and Christian Cullen, second equal, 46. Add Julian Savia. So the three of them are on 46 tries. Bowden Barrett,
Phenomenal.
45 tries. Jeff Wilson on 44, Will Jordan on 42, and Bender's behind Will Jordan on 39.
Just for another thing for Bodie Barrett's CV, though.
Can get above Dougie.
Obviously it'll end up at Will Jordan's mantelpiece.
But Bodie can get second.
Bodie could crack it first, though, what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
You'd want to get there first, wouldn't you? First to 50. 50's still on the table for someone.
So he's got 5 more.
Get greedy, Bodie.
5 more to get.
Yeah.
Well, his hand's got to get better first because otherwise Will crack it in Argentina.
You'd be throwing dummies to Will Jordan now. Well, nah, we're not doing that move. You go stand over there, Will. Be a good decoy for me, will you?
Talk about the series. So 3-0.
Yep.
Well, we did what we needed to do against this inexperienced French side. How did you rate the All Blacks across the series? First match, you ranked them a 6. Second, a 6.5.
Yeah.
Third, did you see it improve?
I probably think we stayed
6.5.
6.5. The thing about it, the most positive thing I can take out of the series, I think, is obviously a few more new players that you give a big tick to, and secondly, the way that they're playing, the intent, the speed of game that they're trying to get across. That's been the big positive for me out of the series. Out
of the newbies, 6 newbies this year, who was the most impressive?
Well, I think you'd struggle to find someone who hasn't been impressed with Fabian Holland.
3 80-minute performances. Has he now cemented the jersey as well? The 5 jersey?
I'm not sure about that. It'll just depend on which way they want to go with Tupou Va'e.
Has he cemented a spot in the 23 then?
Fabian Holland?
Yes.
You'd have to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He's been a massive tick. I mean, when they first named him, and when he was probably first named, he was probably thinking, it'd be good to get a game in. And all of a sudden, he's got 3 starts, and he's been so impressive. I mean, so impressive that you've already gone Brodie Retallick impressive.
Not just me.
Oh,
Plenty of others. Plenty of others have said it.
Yes. So, but I mean, one of the big positives is that type 5 and the work that they did and the depth that is now created. I mean, of course, they did this entire series mostly without Lomax. And then you think that, Fabian Holland's been brilliant, but for a team against the Springboks or Argentina coming up, if everyone's fit and available, you've got to decide, obviously, Barrett's one.
Yeah.
And then you've got to decide between Paddy, who's been as good as anyone in this series, and Fabian Holland, and that is Tupou Va'e, we're presuming is your 6th. But if he's your lock, because Wallace is back and whatever they want to do there, then Tupou Va'e is probably automatic to start with Scott Barrett.
So you believe, and you said it last week, that the team to take on the Box in New Zealand will be played against Argentina.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can't be going to Argentina and take anything for granted. You've got to put your best team out.
So we know our best team? What are the positions that are still...
I think there's probably still horses for courses somewhere.
Where?
Well, I would...
Midfield is Geordie and Billy, our 12 and 13.
Well, I think it's...
Right now?
It's obviously Geordie and someone.
Geordie and who?
Well, if we continue with Rico on the wing, then it's Geordie and this is the one area that I think they might be still prepared to have a look. So, for example, Proctor did well in his first couple of games. Anton played in that game on Saturday there, third test. I would think test 1 against the RGs, I'd go Anton again, give him another crack at 13, most likely to have Geordie inside him, probably Bodie at 10, and the full back line, and see how that looks. And then that second game in Buenos Aires, then you can probably say, right, this is going to be our midfield to play the Box.
Yeah.
And then it's the loose forward mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Tupou Va'e quandary, well, not quandary, they might be set in stone, right, he's our 6. And then is it a straight Wallace and Artie 7-8?
And if that is the case, who is the player on the bench? Is it Luke Jacobson because he can cover all 3? Or is it Duplessis? Who is the player on the bench?
Again, it's what have you done with the locks? Because it could be 2 loose forwards. If you've got Tupou Va'e at 6, then it's 2 loose forwards. So then it could be a Luke and a Karifi, for example, if you're wanting to take the pace to another game. If you think you still want some big bruiser.
Paddy?
Sammy Penny.
Oh, Sammy Penny.
Because you've already got... You're not going to have 4 locks on a game day 23.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, it does open up a few things for them.
But if Tupou's not at 6, and he's your starting lock,
then you carry a lock on the bench.
Who? Fabian or Paddy?
I think I'd still lean just because of what's coming up. Paddy.
Yeah.
Paddy's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Has Paddy played better?
No, I don't think so. No. Maybe for the Blues when they won Super Rugby last year.
He was doing that on one leg, wasn't he?
He was. That's why I say phenomenal. But he's been so good.
Absolutely.
He's never had a prolonged time in the All Blacks jersey because he's been around for over a decade and he hasn't played that many tests because he's had so many injuries and he's been in and out.
And he's been behind Brodie and Sam Whitelock.
Of course. So now maybe is his time over the next few years.
Be a great story for someone that could have gone overseas and chased whatever he wanted to.
The clapping ceremonies.
Capping.
Not
Not
clapping.
Drop the L.
Yeah, I know. I just did a beaver. Capping ceremonies.
Yes.
Did you do a capping ceremony? Because I see that after these 3 tests, they did a capping ceremony for the 6 new guys. All their families came in. Like, it was a massive deal.
Yeah.
Is that normally the thing?
Yeah, obviously it depends where you are. How we did it, we got capped then and there in the changing room afterwards.
Oh, so you don't wait. They've made some of these boys wait.
Yeah, and then some of them, though, depending if there's an aftermatch. Usually there's only one aftermatch per series. So you can either have it at...
Aftermatch every week, Beav.
Have it at... Well, there is if you're a good podcast listener. But you can either have it at the scenario of in the big grand hall where they have a proper aftermatch or what have you, or depending if there's no aftermatch that night, we just got them in the change room. So I got mine in the change room.
What happens? Who gives you your cap? What's it like?
DC gave me mine at Eden Park after my debut.
Did he say anything nice about you?
Said
or
some
did
words.
He just pass your cap over?
No, I said some words. Yeah.
Do you remember?
You got to remember, this is...
I know, it was a few years ago now. It was a few years. Were your parents there or is it...
No, we were in the change room.
So it's just you guys?
Yeah. Which is nice too.
And because I heard that if someone brings you a beer, you can't turn a beer down.
Look, I saw that.
Is that?
Oh, look, Anton,
is that real?
Was that Anton
and
Brown?
Quinn? Yeah. Talking about where the after party was going to be at the Mackenzie Manor, I believe.
Those two are they're very loose as far as, they'll say whatever. And for entertainment.
On national television,
On national television. Anton's also very comfortable. He's an 86 Test All Black.
So he doesn't mind.
He can say what he wants. Myself at the time, I was playing my first game and knew that the only way I could probably blow it is by having a massive night. So, look, I wasn't chasing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You weren't getting after it.
In fact, actually, I think that night, I got it after England, and I think that might have been the end of the that internal series, like it was. And there's about 4 or 5 of us who had obviously debuted and who would all turn out to be great mates, like Sakahui and Boric. And they organised, there used to be this, back in the day, this nightclub down by Britomart, and they'd organised, I don't know who organised it, probably Ali.
In the alleyway?
No, just up from the alleyway. But they organised us some transport, and we're like, oh, yes, sweet as. First crew, get down the bottom of the hotel. Up shows a stretch Hummer. So
must have been Ali. That sounds like
Ali would have organised it.
Yeah,
he was off-field liaison officer, I think. But I think what was shocked the people that were outside this nightclub, the individuals that got out weren't exactly Hummer folks. Myself, I think, Hori. Who else was probably Woody would have been after AB and Kahui. I think everyone was looking around. Is there going to be someone famous pop out soon, or who's getting out of this Hummer? But that's what I remember from my first gig.
Time now for our Black Magic Player of the Weekend, our All Black of the Weekend. Beef, who did you go for?
Well, I probably went a little bit left field. I went Ruben Love. I thought he was certainly the best back on the field. I thought he was so decisive with his actions. Whenever he decided to run, he ran. It was very good in the air. He was, again, just, I guess the word that keeps sort of jumping up at me is decisive. Whatever he did he committed to it 100% and he went for it. And so it's really stood out, his performance. But the Black Magic tackle winner for this week is Hunter Bruce. And Hunter actually picked Geordie Barrett for his Black Magic All Black of the weekend. Of course, Geordie, wonderful contribution of about half an hour off the bench, really straightened things up. Added a lot on attack for sure, and obviously we've talked about the try saver, but there you go. Black Magic's winner this week is Hunter Bruce, and of course visit www.blackmagictackle.com for all your fishing gear.
And people are asking us in the comments, how do we enter this on YouTube? So on a Sunday, we will put a post out asking you for your player of the weekend. All you need to do is comment on that post and we will pick a random winner. It is as easy as that. Don't forget you can ask any questions, who you'd like to see on the program. You've been sending in some wonderful guest suggestions who you'd like to see. Rico Ioane was the top one.
Yes.
You reckon you can sort that out for us?
Well, Get cheer for Rico. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Speaking of guests,
Yes.
we're about to talk about the Lions. Well, later on this week, subscribe, like, follow, whatever you need to do to get alerts, because we have got a great British and Irish Lion, one of the absolute characters of world rugby, well known to this part of the world. I'll say no more, but it's worth a listen.
Okay, that's a big tease. That is a big tease.
That's how you tease.
Matt Giddo went down really well. People love Matt Giddo. People love Coco, the podcast that he runs as well.
Yes.
This guest, right up there.
He's right up there. Similar position to Gits, and certainly well and truly still up to date with rugby.
Just before we do talk the Lions, some instant reaction from our listeners and viewers here, which you can send us at any time, by the way. It's on Geordie Barrett, Alternative Brew. Love the enthusiasm of the show. Beef, thanks for the feedback on Geordie's tactical improvement. We did a good job up here.
Is that another Irish listener?
It must be.
Brilliant to have you, Alternative Brew. And what is your Alternative Brew there?
And they said just make sure he doesn't go backwards in your capable hands here in New Zealand.
Did they have that cheek, did they?
And they did.
Brilliant to have you listening, Alternative Brew. And absolutely, Geordie is on fire at the moment.
He has not missed a beat. He would have to be up there with one of the players of the series for me.
Absolutely.
He has been so good. Okay, let's talk about the Lions. Test 1-0. It's what everyone expected at Suncorp Stadium, but probably not as dominant as we would have expected from the Lions.
No, it's a funny one, Kirst. At halftime, you had concerns. You thought the Lions starting to crack down. Is this machine going to start to roll? Whenever they got an opportunity, they looked slick. It looked like the Wallabies were, I guess, almost resourceless as far as how they're going to stop this machine once it got inside the 20 or 30. It was interesting how the Wallabies went about trying to play them. They looked like they were wanting to keep ball in hand for a bit. Then the very first kickoff they received, turned over, penalty, and then straight away, I don't know if it forced them into a shell or it made them change, but they then went very much, tried to go after some territory. Unfortunately, the only thing with that was getting into the kicking duels with the British and Irish Lions wasn't working for them. They were not either taking the high ball or the likes of Finn Russell, who was absolutely incredible, was finding grass. And you just can't afford to do that when you're getting into a kicking duel. So, yep, they were interesting as far as how they tried to break them down, the Wallabies, but the Lions, as I said, for about 25 minutes, they clicked, and I think they clicked like a lot of people around the rugby world thought they would, and really threatened to put the Wallabies to the sword. But to their credit, the Wallabies hung in there, made some changes. I thought McDermott added a lot off the bench, added a lot of speed to their game, and they just started to give themselves a sniff. Tizano made a difference. Whether now looking forward, does that sniff sort of say to us, right, we can compete with them? Or do the Lions go away and say, look, we did this for 30 minutes, now let's try and go for 80? Because they probably didn't get the mass impact off the bench like the starters provided.
Tell us your keys to success for the Wallabies. How do the Wallabies get a win in this series? Because if the Wallabies got a win in this series, it would be classed as success,
Huge
wouldn't it?
Success.
Just like if the French got one test against the All Blacks, it would have been seen as a success. So in your eyes, with your coach's hat on, how do the Wallabies get a win in this series?
Well, they have to get more physical, and not so much physical. They didn't hide from the physicality, but they have to start winning some physical battles around the rucks. You looked at it, the Lions forwards, when they carried, were making momentum. And sometimes they weren't making momentum. Sometimes they were making line breaks, and they all were. You think about the front rowers with their footwork and their power. Genge was incredible when he was carrying. And the footwork of the others, Itoji was incredible. I thought Earl was an absolute nuisance for the Wallabies. And it was a great battle, but you know, if the Wallabies are to win, then the Wallabies loose forwards have to win a battle, because that's three of their best players right there. So for me, if you are looking to see how the Wallabies jag a win here in the MCG, it's getting more physical around the rucks. It's getting momentum yourself for McDermott and the likes, Gordon, to play off, and then it's stopping some Lions momentum. And for me, obviously, there's talk that Skelton's available, Big Bobby V's available, potentially to pose available, then you've just got to get them out there. They are three guys who will bring physicality, and they'll be guys that the Lions will be wary of at the moment because of the loose forward mix, because of the locks that they've got. They're good footballers, but at the moment They need somebody who's going to be able to bang some bodies around.
You're talking about the forwards there. Would you make any changes to the backs? Would you make any other changes to this team that went out there?
Well, it's an interesting one. Joseph Suaalii got bugger all ball. I thought it was probably the 60th minute when he got his first carry. Ikitau did a lot of carrying, through necessity probably, because it was such slow ball. Obviously, as all good midfielders do, go, right, I'm going to go and try and get us some momentum. And he was so brave. His carries were relentless. Defensively, he was very good. They're going up against a great Scottish midfield. But the big one that Joe, I guess, will ponder this week is the 10 jersey. And I thought Liner did pretty well. But, like, you're talking about the Lions here. Yeah. And you're throwing a guy out into
He's just a kid.
Second or third test match against the Lions.
Yeah.
And everything that comes with playing the Lions in front of Australia, packed houses. I mean, he's a son of a Wallaby great, so he knows where Australian rugby's at. He knows the responsibility and the rest of it. So it is a big ask. So what do? Do they go Donaldson, who looked good for 15 or 20 minutes when he came on with McDermott and Australia had their best period of the game? Or do they go someone like a James O'Connor, who you know, been there, done that? The occasion won't get to him. Like, he's coming off a great cameo sort of role with the Crusaders. Yes, he wasn't starting, but he was there. He's got his swagger back. He's got his confidence back. This might be more mental than anything.
Do you think he's got a 60-minute performance in him against the Lions at this level?
Well, he's an athlete, isn't he? He's a proper athlete, and he lives very clean, and so fitness won't be an issue.
No, but he was.
But he just hasn't played.
He was playing cameos.
He
hasn't played a full game of rugby in how long?
But is it a case of, do the Wallabies need to look around the sheds and see a guy that's been there, done that, got the swagger, confident? He's saying, boys, we'll win this one. Do they need to go that route as opposed to another inexperienced guy at that level and, maybe not have that sort of presence about him? It's an interesting scenario. All three options you could see if Joe goes, you could understand. Go Liner again, just be better, maybe protect him a bit more. They found him brilliantly on those high balls. They isolated him. Jamison Gibson Park, box kicking, phenomenal. I don't think you've seen better box kicking than what Jamison was dishing up. Like, I can't remember one that wasn't on the money. He was phenomenal. And obviously Finn Russell. They've got to somehow get to Finn Russell, because Finn Russell looked like Finn Russell could do whatever he wanted for 60 minutes. He had so much time, and he was just picking some great options.
On Finn Russell, does he get the credit and the recognition that he deserves in terms of world-class first fives at the moment?
Well, I think
Scotland hasn't been that successful.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean,
if he was in South Africa or New Zealand or France, people would probably be lauding the guy.
Oh, they would be. But I think we're a little bit naive down here about his status up there. He's just won the premiership with Beav. Beav haven't won anything for a million years. They just haven't had any good tens there for a while.
A long time.
They've wasted a lot of money on tens. But no, I mean, he's just won the premiership. Scotland now going to the Six Nations, and they're always a chance. Where in the past they've been probably trying to jag a victory against Italy and then see where they end up. But now with Finn Russell there, the great midfield that they've got there as well now, they're a lot better team than you probably think of Scotland of the past. You'd probably say, no, you wouldn't probably. He is. He's the best first five, I would think, running around world rugby at the moment. And I think most people would agree with that. When you look around, I mean, Bodie's thereabouts. Obviously, for South Africa, probably between Pollard and Sashi, you got a couple that are in the conversation, but more or less.
Who is the best first five in the world right now? Give us your thoughts in the comments. That's a good one. You'll be able to tell us exactly what you think.
After Saturday, you have to say Finn Russell, without a shadow.
Beavis Finn Russell, who is it for you? Let us know. Joseph Suaalii, how do they get him more involved?
Well, it's the chicken and the egg scenario, or however that works.
Put him at fullback, Beav.
Well, yes and no.
Why not?
The balance of the Wallabies team is right. One of their best backs, he is. You need to get him on the field, yes. He can only play 15 all wing. So if you're going to shift Joseph, you're going to have to shift right. So is that where they want to be? He's obviously gone very well at centre. For me, when I was talking about the chicken and the egg curse, you need momentum. There's no point going to Joseph on static ball, and that's what they were getting. So I think you start to win some battles up front. You win your collisions. You get Skelton getting over the advantage line. Wilson, Bobby V and the likes. Bell Bell's another one that came on and injected. Well, Bell's about the best running prop in world rugby. Like, get him out there earlier.
People would probably argue with that one too.
Best running prop in world rugby? Whew.
In the comments.
Jeez, that's not even trying to be clickbait. He's phenomenal.
They'll start calling you clickbait again.
He's phenomenal.
He is great.
Yeah, I mean,
At Super Rugby.
He's athletic, but do you start him? Do you start him, get him more? Like McDermott or Werve just need longer off the bench. So get Joseph the ball by getting momentum up front and going to him early. I still think set-piece ball, get it quickly to a 13 channel, one-on-one. That's all you're looking for with him, you know. And Nicky Tau's got more to his game than just being a battering ram. You know, he's got a great left foot. He's a clever footballer. I mean, that combination was the reason they beat England at Twickenham last year. So they've got to just get that combination more involved.
Let's talk about not the occasion, but the venue. You've never played at the MCG?
Never played at the MCG. I've gone and watched the Black Caps Cricket World Cup final at the MCG.
Don't go there with us.
No. Great day for a while.
Suncorp or the MCG? If you picked a venue, where would you rather play? Suncorp looked spectacular.
If I was playing for the Black Caps, probably the MCG, but no, Suncorp is the best.
It is.
Yeah. I went and watched the All Blacks there, must have been 2 years ago. I couldn't see the other side. I was going to say the other end of the field. I don't know if I could see halfway. It's a long...
The G?
Yeah, it's a massive stadium.
100,000 there this weekend.
Great occasion.
That is the aftermatch.
No, it's not.
Why? What?
Well, you know, we had a Cinderella story this year, which we well and truly jumped on. We weren't the official podcast of Moana Pasifika, but we were certainly high up on their fans. They noticed it, they appreciated it, and I was mixing with a few of the very important people of Moana Pasifika.
Is this a presentation?
This is a presentation. You said I couldn't make it happen. You demanded.
Oh, look at this.
You demanded a Moana Pasifika American style. That's yours.
That's cool.
That's yours. And
look
of course,
at this.
The much talked about green hat that you said I couldn't pull off.
Let's see. Well, come on.
The Moana Pacific corduroy hat that I said I could pull off.
Okay, let's see. It actually looks good on you.
There you go.
What, have you seen yourself?
No.
You actually look 10 years younger.
Oh, thank you.
You look like you could still... Look, if you need another recruit, Moana next year, just in case you need a backup to Pellegrini, or who was backing up Pellegrini, maybe it's...
Garden Bishop, of course.
Yeah,
Jackson.
so maybe if you need someone behind Jackson,
yeah.
there could be a third choice, or maybe a fourth choice in here.
Or just a water boy.
A water boy.
Yeah, but thank you so much to the crew at Moana Pasifika.
Cool.
And as you say, let's hope that the off-season sorts out any issues off-field as far as sponsorships, and we get to see them go again.
Thanks, Beav. Thanks for Moana Pasifika as well. We have big fans. That is the Aftermatch with Kirsten Beav, a new podcast coming out on Wednesday with, as Beav said, a very, very special guest. We'll see you then.